this takes us on a completely different sort of topic, but poverty is a huge contributor to mental health problems. It's why I'm not a fan of people like Peterson or anybody really like that that's pull yourself up with your bootlaces, because not everybody's equipped to do that. So what, we're just going to forget the millions of people that aren't equipped to do that?
I'd say that would be a higher percentage of people that need help have no access to help as
100%.
well. That's one thing you need to like come to terms with as well when you're trying to help people into, is accept that society's a bit fucked and you'll never
need to accept
or
that.
You would lose your mind.
Yeah, and if you
would
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that there is also toxic positivity where you not only accept it, but you get on the train of we can't change it. You absolutely can change it. We need to come together. This is why the whole individual, it's a load of shit, mate. It is the biggest load of pish. Thatcherism, Ronald Reagan, Reaganomics, the way the world changed to neoliberalism and this sort of individual. You can't like oh man, I'm ranting now. See, I know that was a total nervous response. See this stuff?
Because you realise you've just fucking like set yourself off about talking about what the deeper issues are.
Exactly, that I can't change. See this stuff about you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Have a bit of trust in your own ability to be an individual. I've got mates who, even in the last 5 years while I've been a therapist, been really mentally struggling. I will not wipe them away or start ignoring them because I'm like, their negativity is impacting my ability. Like, really, if I work on myself and I keep myself in a nice sort of grounded reality, I can help these people. I'm not going to stop spending time with them. So that's just capitalism. Total and utter nonsense to me. Like, we are a pack animal. We rely on community, belonging. And while you're just throwing people away because they don't bring any value, what value does your family... Like,
PTs are so bad for that.
It's not even just PTs, man. It's no, they're victims of this. It's the society that we live in. Did we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs when we did therapy? It's like
basic food,
shelter, basically the things that we need to survive: food, shelter, water, healthcare, and then kind of like love and acceptance.
My earliest memories, like my mum and dad arguing, money, always money, because my mum wouldn't like do any work, and then my dad was constantly having to do like whatever, like 60 hours. And then when I went and lived with my mum, she was just constantly stressed about money as well. And although she had deeper issues, that one stress being constant can only make the other issues worse, surely.
Well, it becomes...
we were on benefits, so it was a constant stress.
You're
it's
fighting for survival.
Yeah, she would basically never have like 500 quid put away, ever.
Yeah.
So it's like a constant
It's
thing.
a constant worry.
Away.
I've got another good related thing with a client where a guy came to me and he was a drug dealer. And, you know, like 5 hours later, I was basically saying to him, like, you need to change your profession, mate. Your life is in danger. You're hanging about with some big bad people who have murdered people. Your central nervous system's like right in the pocket, mate.
And it's working.
Sending you signals.
It's working.
And you're wanting to get rid of these signals to maintain a dysfunctional lifestyle. That was like the end of it. I was like, you know what you need to do, mate? Or accept the state that you're in. I can't help you. I think it would be unethical to get somebody who's putting their life in danger through their profession and teaching them how to turn
manage their anxiety.
That's the same when people are in poverty, when people are living in any sort of scarcity. To bring it back to how we ended up talking about that, does anxiety come from like past experiences? 100%. I had the exact same experience. Me and my sister, I feel... Sometimes, I don't know if my sister's ever watched a podcast that I've ever done, but this is her story as well, and I don't know how the outcomes have been for her, but I can only talk about myself. I can remember one Saturday night, me and my sister were basically put in the room with like a wee farm foods frozen pizza. They used to come in like a bread bag, you know, maybe like 5 inches, like cheese and tomato pizza. Real horrific, like foods, like no protein, probably no even real cheese or tomato in it, you know what I mean? And they were cheap. And my mum and dad were screaming at each other because they couldn't have dinner. So me and my sister got the last of the food. I'm about 7. Me and my sister like hugged each other and like were crying because you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Fast forward, I'm working in retail, I'm doing sales and I'm making 50 grand a year, and I'm still checking my bank account. I'm still wondering about, like, see if I lose this job, I'm going to end up penniless. I still sit with that feeling all the time. I've never had enough money in my bank account, and I've not got very far. But even just like first time I've had like 2 grand put away, to like get a bit of savings and spunk all of it. There's a sort of like couple of things that's happening. The thought of being penniless is triggering my fight or flight, because when I was a wee boy, that's what my mum and dad done. That's what I watched them do. They were poor. We lived in a housing scheme. That's what I witnessed. So I have been given that. There's a psychological element of it where I need to accept the fact that that's the truth, but also remind myself every day that I'm not poor. Because you could end up in a place, and I see it every day, where you are rich and you're still chasing money, wealth, power. And this is the world's so fucked with this stuff, man.
That's what capitalism contributes to, that way of thinking, isn't it?
Oh, that's the whole modality. It relies on people being poor. It relies on scarcity. But who's going to go and clean a toilet? Who's going to go to a care home and wipe shit off of somebody's arse if all of your basics are taken care of and you don't need to go and do that? Very few people, I think. You would have to reward these people to the tune of the labour. Somebody who stands in Starbucks, right, and gets screamed at by somebody because they didn't make the coffee right, you'd need to pay me a fucking lot of money to go and do that job. If all of my basics were taken care of, have to be paying me 20 quid an hour, like it would be a high paying job. Somebody that takes abuse, like how much abuse the train ticket conductors get, how much would you need to pay somebody to go and put parking tickets on a car? If you had all of your basics taken care of, they don't need to give it to you, they can give you money, right? And this is universal basic income, which is, I think it's an inevitability. They give you money, you don't need to go and do that anymore. How many people are actually going to do it unless they're rewarded like adequately? I had a conversation with a friend during the pandemic where I was like, this could be a real pivot point for society, where we actually start to look at people that work in the service industry and realise the value of a nurse, of somebody that works in Tesco. But we've went straight back into the same madness that we've been going down for a couple of 100 years, and it relies on people being poor, people being impoverished. I'm open to the fact that it could work without it, but I don't see how.